Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss show, and in today's episode, this is more so a motivational episode to let people know like, hey, if you don't have no support in the line of work that you're doing, support yourself. You know, like it's perfectly fine supporting yourself, but just letting you know, like, supporting yourself, it's easy to support yourself. I'll tell you that, but the process is like on extra hard, you know, like the highest difficulty you could possibly think of in like any video game terminology. Supporting yourself is extremely hard because you will have to make decisions. Sometimes like you may sometimes you may agree with these decisions, and then sometimes you might have to disagree with the decision that you make. And I know people will be like, what does that mean? How do you disagree with the decision that you make? Overall, saying like there is going to be something that you don't like doing. So pretty much like not being fake, but having to like, in content creating, like, terminology and stuff, I guess that's like the best way I can possibly put it. But let's say if you're a content creator and there's content out there that you don't particularly like or don't care for, but that's where the money is at. You'll have to do that content, and it sucks because, you're not going to want to do it. So that's what I overall mean. There's going to be things that you do agree with, and there's going to be content that you do like doing, and then there's going to be content that you don't like doing. And I had to say, like, for me, the content that I don't like doing is the one where I'm, like, overall beefing with people, because that's the content that's not making any moves. It's not making me any money. It's not doing anything productive, rather than actually showing off my creativity from making music, making, short films, movies, whatever I like. There's so many other, like content. There's just so much other content that I could be doing, and then sitting around beefing with people that don't really care about my well-being. Like, that did absolutely nothing for me. And I talked on that before. The time like from like 2016 all the way up until last year, 2020. I went nowhere, and it wasn't until I actually started focusing on growing. And so when you overall, like, when you focus on growing, then, the process, is like, it does get easier, like you overall, like, it's still going to be on hard, but it's, you'll know how to play it on that difficulty. So things will, get, a tad bit like easier once when you like, the moves, what to do, how to get through this. You read every guide, play through, walk through, like you've done everything possible to get you to the point where like, okay, now it's just nothing but like, going up. It's nothing but, like growing as like, the person in whatever job field that you're, wanting to get into. That should be the only thing that you look forward to when, getting into the job that you want to get into is growing and being the best at it, and you then like getting back to supporting yourself, because I didn't really have support until maybe there were like a couple of friends, but I didn't really know what support felt like until like my 7th year into being a content creator. I've been a content creator, like, I started taking it serious back in 2015, but I got into YouTube back in 2010. So technically I did start in 2010, but I have to say, like, it really, nothing didn't really start happening until 2015 when I started being serious about it. And then 2 years after that, it was a friend of mine. I'm pretty sure you guys remember me talking about her in like previous episodes, shouting her out, shouting out her family. But Priscilla from Four Souls, like, I didn't know what support was until, I'd seen overall the support that she showed me. And then it was a while ago where I was going through like my Facebook memories, and I sat down and I was like, reading like some of the posts I was making at the time when I almost had quit YouTube, because I knew what like people like trying to tear me away from something. I knew what that felt like. I've been dealing with that my whole life. where people are like pulling you away saying, oh, you shouldn't get into that, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. And eventually it just got to a point where I just got so sick and tired of hearing that. So I was like, you know what I need to do is just, whatever I feel like doing, I need to do that. And I remember when I had after I graduated high school, the plan was to like enlist in the military, but then I stopped. But after that, I just kind of had a moment where I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So then 2015 rolled around April. I pretty much cause I didn't have a job, I didn't have no money. So I pretty much had to use what I had to make the content that I could. So that's why I'm like, at times, people, they think like, oh, you can't do nothing because you don't have the, proper tools. I'm like, bro, freaking, when I started off doing YouTube videos and stuff, I had this digital camera that I got when I was a kid. And, what else? And iPads and iPods and iPhones. Like, that's what I had, was using, the first 5 years from 2015 or 2010 to 2015. Like, that's what I was using, and then eventually I stopped using the digital camera and was just using my iPad or, actually, no. So it was like in 2013. Yeah, it was in 2013, that Christmas, I remember I got my first laptop. So I had started making videos off of that, but then eventually got like a web camera and a microphone. So did I use my own money? It was either that or I asked my parents to help me get it and stuff. But it was either because I was at that time I was making money through YouTube. But then it just, it dramatically had slowed down because at that time I had started getting into, or I started working at this job downtown. So, and to overall, get into that, do you, is your parents gonna support you? Maybe. I hear with some people, their parents support them with their content creating dreams, but that's usually when they get to, millions and millions of followers. You really don't hear that too much with, smaller YouTubers, because with smaller YouTubers, you ain't gonna be bringing home, $1 million checks over and just all over the place and stuff. Nah, you're gonna be bringing home a few $100s maybe, depending on what you get into. If you get into brand deals, then you'll be bringing home a little bit more money. But as a small content creator, it's you might not be bringing in a whole lot. So I had to say that was probably the biggest reason, because they didn't really know whether or not it was gonna be a stable job. I'm out here turning down jobs of making actual legitimate money. And I'm over here wanting to bring home a few hundreds, or less than 100 or something. I'm like, yeah, can't really do any things with that. Maybe if it was back in the Andy Griffin days, then I could probably get me some 60 cents apples and stuff and all the other cheap things that they had on that show. But no, I needed to pay bills. I needed to make some money and stuff. So that was one of the things I remember when I was sitting, and I think I just finished recording videos, and my mom came home and said, me and your sister had helped, or we got you a job interview at this cafe in Seattle. And then the cafe that I always talk about, that was a cafe. And I just hated hearing that, because I was like, bro, I mean, it's not, because I'm trying to think. I don't think I was really asking for anything once I was making money from YouTube. I wasn't asking anybody because that's the thing. When you start making money from something, you just don't ask anybody, for money, or you find it extremely difficult and hard, because you're I know I got it in me to make money. So I don't know why I gotta ask people oh, hey, can you spot me on this? So I think it has stopped. I think it might have been here or there, when I might have asked for stuff. But other than that, it came to a point where it did stop. But it was too late. I had to go in for this job interview and stuff. And I was I really didn't want to. But yeah, there was overall those guys, they forced me to. And then it just seemed from there, it was just, slowly pulling me away from content creating. And I remember I tried, so I know everybody knows that I stream now, but back, I think it was in 2017, it was either 2016 or 2017, I started streaming. And so yeah, if you go like I think there might be some clips of me when I was streaming back then, but if not, then yeah, it was like I did get into streaming. Was I good at it? No, because I was using when I had got my PlayStation 4, like it was it got better because it's a lot easier streaming on the PlayStation 4 than it is streaming on the Xbox One. On the Xbox One, you don't know what your chat is saying unless you have your phone open or something. But other than that, like, yeah, streaming wasn't as good as it is today and things. So, yeah, streaming, I tried to pick that up. That wasn't going so good. But it did, like, I had so many moments where my family, they were like trying to, you know, tell me like, hey, YouTube ain't this all like, you know, special job that you seem to make it out to be. And I'm like, but fam, like legit, my fam, like there's YouTubers out there making bank from this. You know, all they just need is that support and motivation. I don't understand, like, you guys can support and motivate me with anything else, but when it's my dreams, like, it's silly, it's stupid, it's what, you know. And that it was that type of stuff that was like, you know, frustrating me. And it was upsetting me because I'm like, I don't get it. You know, you guys pushed me through school. You guys was pushing me for the military. You pushed me for this job. Now it's something that I want to do, and it's just silent. Like, I don't get that. But no, it was a time back in 2019 where I had almost quit YouTube. And because yeah, that was at the only time, that was the only thing that I was doing. But no, me and my mom, we had got into this. It was a pretty bad argument. And yeah, I just remember, like, you know what? I can't take this anymore. Like, it's stressing me out. I'm pretty sure it's stressing my family out. And I really don't want to put, you know, my parents in an early grave because, I want to follow my dreams and, you know, disappoint them and stuff. So, yeah, I was thinking about it. And then when I had, like, overall, like, you know, I had talked to Priscilla from Four Souls. And, yeah, it was, you know, she talked me out of it, but it was, you know, it was a hard thing, like, you know, trying to go back and make videos or, you know, just overall making videos and then you just don't have that support and stuff. But, yeah, 2020, that year started, and then, I was like, you know, I don't care what I overall, like, you know, at this point, I was like, I had, like, a very strong, don't care attitude. And yeah, it's probably best, like, you know, care, but also, like, you know, don't care. But my mindset was that I was like, you know, I'm just gonna record videos for as long as I can, or just stay up. Like, if I gotta go to work, because the pandemic, or, you know, the virus, COVID wasn't really a big thing at the beginning of 2020. So I was like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna stay up in the middle of the night recording and editing videos, doing whatever. If I pass out at work because I didn't overwork myself to the max, I don't care. I'm like, bro, I don't care. If I'm like, you know, if I gotta get sent to the hospital, I get sent to the hospital. But I'm like, you know what? I can't do this no more where I'm like working at this job and this job stressing me out. I'm trying to be a YouTuber, and being a YouTuber is stressing me out because I'm like trying to come out with content and channels and all this other stuff. And so yeah, it got pretty hard. It got pretty difficult. And then yeah, the pandemic had took its course, shut down everything. And so I was like, okay, well, I ain't got no choice because ain't nobody taking any jobs. So I was like, I really had to like, you know, I had no choice but to like really make the best of YouTube and content creating and stuff. So yeah, that's why it's like, you seen that I was putting in a lot of work last year. That's why, because there was 1 month I remember I uploaded like, I think it was 200 videos. I think I counted up, and I uploaded like 200 videos across all the channels I had at the time. But yeah, I was like, I had to make the best of it. Then the pandemic started ending, and then so that's why I was like, okay, I got to do something. So I was like, I got to start landing me some brand deals. SeatGeek, you know, like shout out to SeatGeek, because SeatGeek, they came in clutch. They helped me out. So always know, like, you know, hopefully like when I am a much more bigger YouTuber, I am doing bigger and better things like with SeatGeek or more you know, brands out there. But yeah, it's like being a brand ambassador for SeatGeek, it paid off too. So I'm making roughly the same amount that I was making at my old job. So I was like, dang, all right, well, cool. You know, like, this is what I wanted. This is, you know, what I was like, aiming for. This is what I was chasing. So I just overall have to just keep making the best of it. So yeah, that's why if you see me creating channels, if you see me, and that's the thing where all of this stuff, like, you know, what, from creating YouTube channels, from the brand deals, from, I didn't have nobody like putting this in my head and telling me like, hey, you should do this, hey, you should do that. I legit thought of all of this stuff on my own. So like creating the YouTube channels, you know, being a content creator, all of that, this was me just, you know, what my brain had overall thought of. This wasn't nobody, because like I said, I barely had any support. And it's either support from, like, you know, maybe like that support for the moment, or it was no support at all. Or not even that. It was probably people like fake supporting, but then they was haters. So I had no support. I was literally doing this on my own. So that's why when they tell me to like stop doing YouTube, quit your dreams, you're horrible, you're bad, like, I accomplished in my brain, in my head, everything that I've done. From creating a channel that gets no views, from creating a channel that gets a crap ton of views. I see all of that stuff as potential success. You know, something that is one day going to be successful. Others may not, you know, yeah, people, they may not see it. I don't care what they see. Overall, what I see a freaking gold mine with the amount of channels I have, with streaming, TikTok, all of that stuff. So I'm not going to stop because people tell me to stop. No, I'm going to keep going, because this is literally, I've been running off of my own like fuel for like the past, 6 years, going on 7. So I'm saying, like, you know, and then also like being a YouTuber, when I was working at this cafe, and that cafe was just literally draining my soul out of my body. And that sounded so weird, but it was like, overall, like, it was like bringing a lot out of me. We're not bringing, that's not proper wording. It was overall stressful, you know, and so then trying to, you know, coming home, recording videos, and I was like, then it was the hate. It was just crazy, you know, like, it was a lot, but yeah, I'm like, there ain't no turning back now. I'm like, this is it. I'm like, this is the train that I'm controlling. So I'm like, this train will stop when I say it stops, but anyways, yeah, I'm like, and yeah, I'm still just, you know, doing my thing, streaming twice a day, working on videos every single day, doing what I possibly can. Like, I am going to try to, like, you know, do that and, you know, make sure I record, like, at least one video every day, like, for whatever channel and stuff. But I do got videos in the works, so I'm like, first I need to work on the videos I have and then start doing all these other things and stuff. But anyways, but no, like, you know, just overall, like, always know that if nobody out there supporting you, just always know that you got your own support and stuff. So anyways, and that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching in or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. Make sure you subscribe to all my 38 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Instagram at TMossBoss. Make sure you follow my Facebook page at TMossBoss fan page. And yeah, if you're purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your next purchase. Make sure you use my supporter creator code for Epic Games TMossBoss. And in the meantime, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.